and I know the time frame, I worked in different capacities there, but one of the things that led me to realize I needed to do more is when the kids that were involved in the criminal justice system as juveniles, caught up in children's family services, and then the parents were in the and that led me to want to run for public office and service city council about 10 years there, so I'm running for that.
And now we have 5 minutes for our questions.
Okay, I have a question for you, Mr. Allen. Most judges who want to file a disciplinary counsel do so because of inappropriate judicial temperament. Please describe how you will respect the dignity of those who appear before you, including lawyers, the parties, and the court staff, especially when that person is disrespectful, rude, and difficult to deal with.
I'll continue to do what I do as a magistrate. There's been a lot of different situations when individuals have come before me that you can, as a magistrate or a judge, you can either diffuse a situation or you can throw gasoline on it. I had a young lady come into my courtroom and she was being rude at the time, and the bailiff was getting a little agitated, and she was going in there for her driving privileges. And when I told her she was going there to go to school and also take her child to daycare, and when I told her, listen, young lady, I want to commend you for trying to do better for you and your child to get an education, and it just diffused the whole situation. She had a big smile on her face and everything went well. You know, those are the types of things you can do. When I was on the bench, there was a young lady acting in the courtroom, and when I was up there, and this is the first time I didn't know about that Jedi, you know, I don't know about Jedi powers, but when I just said just like this, and it diffused the situation. You have times where you can either diffuse, like gasoline on
Thank you.
And there's just a number of situations. I had a young lady come in, she was trying to reunify with her kids, and she was working with this organization. She was on drugs and she had been clean for a certain period of time. So once she did that, she came and turned herself in. She had a warrant. And she came before me. I was covering the judge's docket in particular. And she came before me. And at that moment, I could validate her doing the right thing by turning herself in and being clean for that extended period of time, and working with that agency and empowering that agency because they told her to do the right thing, and I was able to let her out in hopes to move forward in the realization of her child. So there's a lot of times, again, that you can either diffuse the situation or throw gasoline.
I have a question for you. How will you balance moral issues with the law when the defendant comes before you and the punishment may not necessarily fit the crime?
Well, one of the things, we always have to follow the statute. So I can't go above and beyond that. But anything that I have, and which I used when they were available, anything that I can do within my discretion, I try to help the situation as much as I possibly can. But again, I always have to follow the laws.
Thank you. Good morning. Being a judge is often a balancing act between two opposite goals, pulling in two different directions. What considerations would you give in balancing the following scenarios? In driving under the influence cases, the defendant's desire for driving privileges to work, etc., versus the public's desire to keep drivers off the street.
Yeah. As a magistrate, we have a docket that deals with just that, folks coming in for driving privileges. So I've done this on a number of occasions when they come in, and you always have to look at what's in the file, the details behind it. There are things that they have to submit per the state of Ohio that we have to look at. been a lifelong Democrat. I have volunteered throughout my professional career, even when I was in college, helping other candidates, other Democrats get elected. I worked under Fannie Lewis, delivering turkeys for families in need, handling all of her political things in her neighborhood. So to me, I just been involved in the community. You know, some folks when they get their law degree, they sit up in the office. I did not do that. I got involved in the community.
Thank you.
All right. So one of the things that I would like to say, listen, women have been involved with my professional career throughout my entire life, right? They've served as mentors. They've given me guidance when I needed guidance. They've shown me the way. When I was down, they picked me up. Some of you in this room, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for that as well. But I understand and know that this organization was created because it needed to get African American women. And you've done very well with that. But I know that you guys know that you have a dual obligation as well. You have an obligation to make sure your sons, your grandsons, and I'm sure, hopefully some of you are blessed with great-grandsons, have a place in this world. And I hope that you see me as a vehicle to serve that very purpose. All right? Again, I'm Magistrate T.J. Dow. I humbly ask for your vote and your endorsement from the Black Women's Court. Thank you. One of my biggest accomplishments, I'm a self-proclaimed photographer. Nothing disrespect for the Black Women's Court. All right? I am a self-proclaimed photographer of the Black Women's Court.
Thank you, Mr. T.J. Dow. Thank you so very much for being here with us today. Next, we're having Dr. Sterling Merritt, Maple Heights Council District 5. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
5 years ago, I was session, and then unfortunately,
Good morning. My name is Shirley Merritt, and I am running for Councilwoman of District 5 in Maple Heights. One of the reasons why I'm running for this office is because I truly love my city. I have been volunteering here for the past 27 years that I've lived here. I believe in the good and the bad, just like every city has their own ups and downs. I combine with it. So, with that said, I know that this is the best job for me because I have been doing it without a label. And I will continue to serve my city the best I can and to always uplift and respect the head of Maple Heights, which is the mayor. I would like to say that my city may not be the best city, but some people would consider it to be the best city.
I made sure good to see you.
Okay, my question to you, how do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in your city? That's a good question, because as I was visiting residents in the community, one of the things I was talking about was the order that we're going on. The mayor can't do everything. The mayor cannot do everything. The mayor is the head, and council is the layer that bridges the gap between the residents and the mayor. And one of the things I stressed to them, what the mayor can't do, we can do. Just like I was talking, he asked me about park, the playground, the swings and how they look. I said, we can do some fundraisers. We can have some invest in them to help me give them hope. Because I am just as good as at least one that has a higher education down to the lowest education, from the richest to the poorest, but all together we can make one big pot of something fabulous. Thank you.
Ms. Mayor, what would you do to improve communication between city officials and the public?
What I would do on my part is that I will be transparent. I will continue to give information that's much needed. A lot of residents, they don't know what's going on because the layer of council, that information goes to certain people. It doesn't go to the entire community. The least does not get the information. A lot of people in that community, they're not literate with computers. They don't have them. They don't go to the library, so they rely on word of mouth. So it is on my part to help strengthen them with somebody on that street that actually help them convey the message, or we put out more literature and just being transparent out in the community. Have more people involved instead of having like a meeting once or twice a month, or when I do it in month, I'm going to have a big meeting. They need to meet all the time. So right now, I'm always out. People call me for any and everything. Things that the only things I don't know, but they know I will find a resource to help them. Finance.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are the top 3 priorities you propose for city council in June? Just, and what would be your role in ensuring them are achieved?
The top 3 things I can think of, one of the major things is respect. If we don't respect each other, we cannot get involved. And the respect, it comes with your mouth. Sometimes you're not using profanity, but you're demeaning the next person. You make them feel small. So that would be one of the first things that I will address. I will continue to do it. No matter how someone treats me, I will treat them with dignity and respect, and also to respect my mayor. I may not agree with everything, but I have to respect the position that they're in, and then just continue to fight along with the mayor or the decision. Or maybe if the mayor's not right, help the mayor along. Show how it's gone and what we can do together to pull it together without being a person that's mean or disrespectful. And that would be my part to try to ensure that with other people on council. We must work together, we must be respectful to one another, because the residents are looking, they're listening, and they need to know the truth. We need to convey the truth to the residents, not something that we want because we want followership. This is the way the city is going to grow by truth. And dedication.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question. Okay, so what are the 3 important issues facing the area that you are representing? Oh my goodness. Okay. One of the things that's faced in my district where I live at is lack of communication. The lack of communication, residents don't know what's available, they do not know what council's responsibility is, they don't know what to ask, they don't know the responsibility of the mayor, her responsibility. And so the load goes back instead of all of us working together to give great answers. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, and look forward to being the next councilwoman of District 5 because I am the best candidate for the job. Thank you. My name is Shirley Merritt. Thank you.
2016, I became the assistant law director and prosecutor for the city of East Cleveland, and I serve in that capacity to this day.
Okay. Good morning, Amber. Good morning. If elected, how would you prepare yourself to handle cases involving unfamiliar areas of law?
You have to do your research. You have to read, you have to look up your statutes. You have help at the court, you have staff attorneys and magistrates that can help you. But ultimately, you have to do your own research, and I've always tried to do that, even when I work with other people and they've given me their briefs and whatnot to look at. I've always done my own research and found my own case law to support whatever the position ultimately is going to be. And I will continue to do that.
What made you want to become a municipal court judge?
I've been serving in the municipal courts for 22 years now. I do this on a regular basis, a weekly basis. First, as I said, as a public defender, and then also as a prosecutor, and I continue to do defense work to this day. My goal has always been to help people. I try to put people in the best position possible. When I've had younger people as a prosecutor, if possible, I try to get them in diversion programs so they can continue their lives without having anything on their record. I try to work out situations so that people can stay in their jobs so that they can continue to take care of their families. I've assisted with special clinics, driving under suspension clinics. I've served the public to the best of my ability on one side of the bench, and now I think it's time to take the wisdom that I've acquired over all of these years and dealing with the people and serve the people on the other side.
Good morning. What are really the challenges facing the Cleveland Municipal Court or the court of Rhode Island?
What are the challenges facing the court? Being able to serve the interests of people while also serving the interests of the law. You have a lot of people coming through the courts, and especially with Cleveland, there's a lot of people coming. And you have to look at everything that's in front of you. You're looking at the charges, you're looking at that person, you're seeing what's bringing them into the court, trying to figure out how can we put this person in a position that they're going back out into the public and they're not reoffending, that they're not harming other people, that they can move on with their lives. So one of the biggest things with the court is trying to make sure that you're serving the interests of those people that are coming in, that you're helping, that you're not harming, that you're not just running through people quickly, that you're taking the time to see what's going on and serving those people to the best of your ability to better help the community in general.
Thank you.
Thank you. And how will you stay up to date on new developments in the law that affects the municipal courts, especially judicial practices?
Well, I'm not a judge. I don't necessarily have to stay up to date on the judicial practices necessarily, but I do have to stay up to date on whatever laws there are coming before. So here's when the issues are being presented to you. Again, you're having to do your research. You're having to look up the statutes. You're having to look up the case law that surrounds it, so that you can make the proper decisions, give the better answers to that judge, so that they know the best way to proceed with that case. You have to do your research.
Thank you.
Again, my name is Kevin McConnell. I'm running for judge of the Cleveland Municipal Court. I have served our community 22 years now, in the courtroom, in the trenches, and I'm ready to hit the ground running come January. I have done my best. You keep hearing these words, integrity and compassion. I've been doing the work. I've been in the courtrooms doing the work and trying to help people and trying to put them in a better position so that they're not hurting themselves, not hurting the public, and they're taking care of their families, and they're being good members of society. And I'm familiar with the programs that are offered in the court and the resources that are available to help people be in a better position. I am the candidate that's the most qualified, the most experienced. I may not have a bunch of party endorsements. Those are based on political connections a lot of times, and unfortunately I don't have them. What I do have is a requisite experience. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let me just, in terms of, concerning our time, listen, we've been doing this for over 30 years, and I'm gonna tell you, part of those 30 years I've been part of it. I'm the president of the Black Political Action Committee, but let me tell you, I've learned a whole lot over the years, and one of the things you want to do is keep up with the time. Because if some people go over and then some that go under, then you hear about it later on that evening. So I just want to share with you. This is why this is so important, her position. So thank you for being so cooperative. Next, we're going to have Sandra Morgan. She is running for the East Cleveland mayor position. Thank you, Sandra, for being with us today.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me here. I'm Sandra Morgan, and I'm running for mayor of the city of East Cleveland. Over the past 18 and a half years, I've been a resident of this city, and I've worked very hard. I have been the director of external affairs and communications at Kent State University. I served as the honorary consul for the United Kingdom in the state of Ohio as an officer of the most excellent British Empire, and I've recently retired. I hung up my book bag and decided to turn my attention toward my city. East Cleveland is a community with a rich history and a lovely past, and unfortunately, a relatively dramatic present. But I believe that as the mayor, I can work with the communities, with our residents and others in order to bring it back to its former glory and to make East Cleveland a wonderful place.
Welcome.
Thank you.
East Cleveland has faced financial challenges and rumor of a merger has surfaced. What is your plan to restore financial stability?
Well, the city of East Cleveland faces formidable challenges financially, as I think everyone knows. We're currently in a fiscal emergency, and that is essentially state oversight of our finances. I don't believe that merger with anyone is the answer, number one, because no one wants to merge with the city of East Cleveland right now. We don't have enough on the table to offer anyone for a merger. But I don't believe that we need to merge anyway. We've got plenty going for ourselves. Quite frankly, I think that what we have to do is get our financial house in order. We have to have a fiscal audit so that we know where our money has gone and what money we have. We have to work with outside entities, county, state, federal government in some cases, in order to attract money to our community, to encourage investment in our community, and to really just ramp it up, quite frankly. We have a relatively low tax base, and we really have to address that right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If elected, what are your top 3 priorities for the city?
Well, my top 3 priorities are number 1, to completely redo City Hall. We need staff in City Hall. Not everyone is there. I don't want to make it sound regard. We're very passionate about East Cleveland, and they do a fantastic job. But we need some new voices in the city. And so we need to reorganize and restructure East Cleveland City Hall, first and foremost. Number two, we do have to get our financial house in order. We are in financial trouble, and that needs to be addressed to speak. Number three, we need to build the bridges from our community into other communities in order to make our city thrive again. Over the course of time, there have been a number of bridges that have been thoroughly burned, and we need to revitalize those relationships so that we can attract people, families, businesses, investment into the city of East Cleveland. Those are my top three priorities.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Scandal and stability. Great East Cleveland. How will you help rebuild public trust in local government?
Well, transparency is key to building trust in our community, and I believe that I've already started that, even as serving as interim mayor for about 120 days, posting forums throughout our city, town hall meetings, speaking directly with the community, porch parties and the like, making sure that people know what was going on. And as I like to say, that people know the good, the bad, and the ugly, but always the good in the city of East Cleveland. So that's number one, is making sure people know what is going on and being truthful about it. Number two, ensuring that our residents know what's going on, being transparent at all times in that regard. Building relationships that we can believe in our community, and bringing in professionals that are true professionals. People who are not, that are not there for their own purposes, but are there for the benefit of the city of East Cleveland. And so, as I face my last 1 minute, is that what you? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So with that said, what would success look like if you were elected? What would success look like after your first year in office?
Well, at nighttime when I'm dreaming, what success looks like, for me it's something as simple as bringing a grocery store and a bank to the city of East Cleveland, so that our citizens have the resources and services that every other community enjoys. That our roads are repaired and that people can get around our city, without falling into ditches or running off the road and popping their tires, right? Here we are. Well, we'll do the same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last one.
Thank you. So, once again, I'm Sandra Morgan. I'm running for mayor of the city of East Cleveland, and I humbly ask for your endorsement. I think, my campaign has been fueled citywide, but in particular, there's been women who have been supportive of my campaign. They've been literally the wind beneath my wings. It has been a marvelous time to work with the women of our city, to feel their energy, and that, there's nothing like female energy, to make good things happen. And so it would be particularly important, I think, for our community to see your endorsement for me. And with that, I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Morris. Next, we will have Lawrence Lane, running for council president of Maple Heights. Were you the one with the?
Lane. I am running for council president of Maple Heights. One of the reasons that I am running is not only for the community, but to bring transparency and to make sure that the community that I'm involved with continues to have the progress and growth that is seen up under our present Mayor Bwpac. I founded Truth and Vision, a nonprofit where I work with seniors, I work with youth, and I also have developed an area that was just about getting ready to get torn down. That was a building located in Garfield Heights, Ohio, the building for the Arts and Performance Center. We brought that back together. I've been active in the community well before I decided to. So I decided to step up to the challenge and bring some of these things to pass in other areas.
Okay, thank you. Why are you running for council president, and what motivates you personally?
Motivation for me did not start just with my brother. I've been motivated from birth. It's something that I've always done. In school, I was motivated. Any type of situation that seemed to take advantage of the weak was somebody that I felt deserved an opportunity to be who they are. I got involved because I was actually a business professional in Garfield Heights, and it was a situation that came up regarding crime, and somebody asked me, said, "Larry, you live in Maine. You know, there's a lot of things going on. You need to come over there and see what's going on in your own backyard for a while. You work with us." And I came over and I never left. I ran into some people that I respected, and I'm not just saying this. Mayor Bwpac to me, when I went into a room and I seen all of these different, over 20 years, I seen all of these different faces up there. And this little black woman was the only one in the end. And I realized what she was going through and the challenges that she faced because of the egos that were involved in her council. Most of the people there, they had a mindset of being a king opposed to building a kingdom. And with that, it reminded me of some of the other areas that I had worked in. I also had seen a lot of things take place in East Cleveland. I was involved over there with some of the youth and helped some of the individuals there. I've been around the community for quite a while. I was asked to run in a lot of different races, and I chose not, definitely not Cleveland, nothing against Cleveland. Okay, but I thought it was kind of great. And I decided, I said, no, I'm going to keep it a little bit, And one of the things is I want to spend time with my wife. We've been married for 35 years. And I have grandkids. I thought about that as well. But when you ask me why I'm running, I've been running all my life. This is just another chapter.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If elected, what strategies will you use to prevent gridlock or dysfunction in council proceedings?
One of the things that we have to find a common ground. And that's very difficult with the situation that we have in Bwpac. Bwpac is a unique situation. We have a stronghold there of different individuals that think that they're entitled to control and to have the power opposed to the transparency that's needed for our community. Now we got to admit that a lot of you ask me this, okay, one of the things that she has done, she's brought the city all the way back. Now there's checks and balances that the council are responsible for when needed, but not just to use as tools and attack. And that's what I see is going on. I think what I would do is make sure that there is transparency, connect with the community, not just be a manager of the council, okay, but try to reach across the board and find a common ground with those that even do disagree. Find a way to agree when there's not a lot of agreement. And I would try to do that before we even reach council. Our councilmen, they go into the late office. A lot of this should be resolved well before we even get there. And I think that's one of the things that we need to look at. How can I work with some of these individuals that may not agree with the different successes or failures, okay? And we find a way to come together to make it about the residents and not the individual.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
What are your top 3 policy priorities, and how will you work to advance them?
Youth development. One of the wood shop, mechanics. A lot of these individuals that I went to school with, they go out and they start businesses. Give them choices, okay? That's one. Another thing is to make sure there's transparency in the community. A lot of our residents, they do not come to council meetings. Why don't they have reports? Most of the time, half the people don't even have reports. They're sitting on the benches. They come in, they show up, and then they leave. Okay, I will ensure that these reports are out here. And if they're not, I will make sure the residents and officials that they're involved with, they will know about that. We need to take the time to realize that we're not put there on our own. We're put there because of the residents in our community. And that's who we should serve. Another thing is to help the mayor bring different businesses to our community. How can we do that? Okay, basically by making sure that when they see our community, it represents something that they want to be a part of.
Thank you. We'll have 1 minute.
In closing, and I'm not just saying this because I see a room full of women, but anytime the right woman is in the head of anything, it grows. I come from a strong family. I come from a woman that had 11 kids. She used to sit me on the counter and teach me based on the things that she said that she would like men to use and do, from laundry to cooking. I use those talents today. Okay? It's very important to respect that, and that's what I do. Another thing that I want to say is I'm committed to serve, and I've been an example of that all my life.
I am a 17-year resident of Maple Heights. I have raised 3 kids in the community, all graduates of Maple Heights City School District, and I am honored at this present point in my life to move forward with being an advocate for my community.
Thank you. So, why are you the best person to represent the council seat in your city?
I think that I'm the best person because I believe that, one, I want to see change occur. I believe that I have the commitment to collaborate with the administration as well as the constituents in the community to get the job done. I believe that with my education as well as with my experience in city council, city government now, dealing with city council and understanding what it looks like from the administration side, I believe that I will bring forth that actual bridge and collaboration piece to get things moving forward in Maple Heights.
Thank you.
Council members act as resident service representative, legislators, and guardians of city state. Which of these roles matter to you the most and why?
Well, again, I think being with that financial background, I believe that the financial piece would be the most pivotal for any city to progress forward. Your finances are not in place, then that definitely impacts the resources and opportunities that are available for your constituents. Outside of that, I will not negate the fact to speak of the safety aspect as well. gun violence, and more so recently, where it doesn't matter if it's an individual who's in the community or a visitor who's coming to the community. I do believe that our council members need to have an open door policy with our police officers so that we can let them know the importance of them, not just being in the seat inside of the police station, but actually going back to what community policing look like. Walking the streets, learning the neighborhoods, learning the faces. I believe that when the police presence is not just known, but actually sought out in the community, that, you know, individuals can have a sense of safety, which ultimately will promote more engagement within the community. No one wants to leave their homes where they know they're safe to go in the community, not knowing if in fact they'll be impacted negatively due to gun violence or other type of violences that may occur. So that community policing piece, I think, is pivotal to actually getting the communities back to being considered safe.
Is police response time an issue in your city?
Well, I won't say that from a personal aspect because I haven't had to rely on our city police where, you know, I had to really measure that. However, I can say that in the city, I have seen that, you know, when our officers are out, they do come in force, meaning that they're prompt, they're present, and they're displaying what would be considered teamwork in regards to trying to solve and or address whatever concerns are that they've been called out for.
Okay, thank you. What is important for your city right now? Building new homes and commercial space or rehabbing, expanding, better utilizing existing home and storefront. Explain why this is important.
Well, I think for our community right now, we have a lot of business area, and unfortunately, when I moved to the city 13 years ago, it was robust. So I do believe that improving the infrastructure that is there, definitely seeking other opportunities to bring new developments into the community, which will ultimately bring new visions, new revenue, and ultimately collaboration.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that said, again, thank you all in advance for your support if you are a resident of Maple Heights, but more importantly, thank you in advance for your support as an endorsed individual. I do believe that my ultimate goal of collaboration with our current administration, my commitment to serving my residents, as well as other stakeholders in the community, is pivotal to my role in seeking this seat. I do believe that with, again, the commitment of the mayor and my future colleagues, that we can get the job done as new council members for Maple Heights. Unfortunately, that collaboration piece is not it's not displayed with our current council, which ultimately holds back the city as a whole. I think egos need to be put aside, and more so the eagerness to get the job done needs to be heavily displayed. Again, I'm hoping that I have the support and endorsement, but more importantly, that this will be an organization that I can see in the future. Thank you.
We want to thank all of our candidates that came before us today. We know that we have